Hi, I'm Michelle Sterling for Friends of Science Society. On May 15th, 2018, we hosted Marijn Poels, the award-winning Dutch filmmaker, about his film The Uncertainty Has Settled at our 15th annual event here in Calgary. And we spoke with him also in studio, and he had some very interesting things to say about his experience in making this film. And one of them was this comment that he told me toward the end of the interview.
You know, I had some times that I was having very difficult times in, being demonized, and people putting names upon me, frames upon me. I was ultra-right, I was a Trump voter, I was a puppeteer or whatever. And I was thinking all the time, this is not fair, because I paid everything by myself, and people are, they're making up conspiracies to demonize me. And then I wrote a quote somewhere, and that gave me so much power. And that quote says, if my voice held no power, they wouldn't try to silence me. And I learned a lot about it, and that's keeping me alive, that one line, that, people, when you're not interesting, people walk away from you. And when you're holding a powerful voice, people will try to silence you.
We asked Marijn what his film was about and why he was in Calgary again, because he'd been here a few years ago to receive an award for the Calgary Independent Film Festival. So he told us why he came back and what his film was about.
Well, I made a film about climate and energy back in 2016, and soon enough I came in contact with Friends of Science, and I was quite thrilled for that, because a lot of scientists are rejecting the film, and I was happy that there were, a group of scientists who are the counter voice of the mainstream science, and they invited me to come over to Calgary to speak at the annual event, and they extensively organized 2 extra screenings in Calgary and in Edmonton. So I was very honored to come over to Calgary.
Ironically, Poels' objective with his film, even though it's very controversial, has been to unite society and not divide it. And in order to remain completely independent, he financed the film himself.
Right. No, this whole story fueled me actually with the urge to make another story about it. So I planned a trilogy, and so we're making a sequel right now. And I've got inspired by, well, this whole period when I'm releasing this film, and where the media was trying to silence me, a lot of unpleasant encounters with audience as well, and that mechanism of demonizing, silencing that other view. I found that very interesting to investigate as well, because I think there lies the real problem of the issue. And so in my sequel, I'm trying to ask question, what is that for a mechanism? What is silencing that other view? Who are they who are putting up that direction? And why is it that we're living in an era that that we barely can have a debate? Because I think the most biggest concern in this is that we're talking about, for example, climate, but also you can copy that on migration as well. And it has been politicized. So it has become a left or a right-winged perspective. And that's a very scary thing, because we're dividing ourselves as humanity. And what we are forgetting, that we're needing each other to reach that kind of humanity. Because the left cannot live without the right, and the right cannot live without the left, and we are tended to forget that. And so my aim in that film is to try to bring the people a bit together, to break that barrier of the suffocating debate on every topic possible. because silencing a view or a perspective of a group, even though it's extremism, when we're silencing some perspectives, they have the chance that they radicalize because they will shout harder, they will be more extreme, and then we're facing exactly the extremism we're facing today. And I think no topic is untouchable, and that's what my aim in the next film. And we do it again without budget, so I self-invest in the film as well. Of course, we receive funds from people, from individuals, because I believe in, that's the hope what I'm seeing as well in, we are sort of trapped in that mainstream belief, but I see a lot of independent alternative media rising up. We're increasingly getting more power, and the fun part of it is that the mainstream systems are paid by government and the alternative media is funded by the people. And I think there lies the real democracy. When I make a story, and a lot of people are funding me because they want to see that story. That is democracy. Then you're playing with the feelings of people within that democracy. And you're not playing with politics, you're not playing with mainstream systems of commercial interests. And I think that's a very hopeful thing, and which I see growing bigger and bigger. And I think that's the future of us, that we're breaking the barriers of mainstream beliefs, and that we're more there to be ourselves, be different, be independent, and be free.
So, dare to be yourself. Think independently, be free. For Friends of Science Society, I'm Michelle Sterling.